It's not another Buffalo podcast, hosted by three of the most underqualified sports personalities this side of the canal. With John.
There's no way in hell that I can leave that in, right?
You don't think so?
Well, to quote Rage Against the Machine, what better place than here? And, what better time than now?
And Brando.
We have this trust built on, whatever it is, like Bibles and gold bricks and whatever Brandon Bean's drinking over there.
All right, welcome back to Not Another Buffalo Podcast. I'm John. I'm here with my buddy Brando here on a Thursday evening. We've been definitely pushing these episodes later and later into the week and even into Thursday as we've gone progressively because we've gone from Thursday afternoon to Thursday evening, but that's all right.
It is all right.
It's
Thursday. People go out on Thursday nights. It's karaoke night at the bar on Hurdle that we used to go to. And I mean, what is it right now? 9:15 on a Thursday night. Somewhere in this town, people are partying. So I hope you're having a good time.
That's true. That's true. Happy Thursday. Yes. As always, this episode is brought to you guys by Small City Realty. If you're looking to buy, sell, or manage property in Western New York, Zach Korzelius is our guy. Right now, he has homes available in Buffalo and Albion, at least, if not more. Those are the ones that I've seen on his Facebook page. So check him out. Zachary at smallcityrealestate.com if you want to reach out. 585-409-1088. Best realtor in Western New York. That's Zach.
Yes, it is.
Also, Zach wanted to let you guys know that the Jkorz Agency Facebook page has been posting some cool content lately. So give them a follow. I will put a link to that in the show notes. If you want to find it really easy, that is the Jkorz Agency, Jkorz Insurance Agency in Batavia, New York. Give them a follow for some good content on your feed. And like to thank Zach and Jkorz Agency and Small City Realty for sponsoring the show. So, Brando, we've got a little bit of a last-minute impromptu topic here today because we are both naturally procrastinators, and it is the off-season. And yeah, so I think we've still been having good, entertaining shows and good clips on Instagram. It's a nice week when I only have to clip one little clip from the show, and it does almost 1 million views across platforms. And it's like, why do I even post the full podcast at this point?
The Patriots fans in our comments, we love to hear it. We all are
so
aware.
Good. It's so good
that Tom Brady owned our ass for 18 years. Okay. We all know that. Nobody is disputing anything. What we need you to understand is that we have beat you guys down. Right? In the last few years, Josh Allen owns the AFC East. He is your daddy as long as there's not 90-mile-an-hour winds outside, okay? And it is what it is.
Right.
Say what you want. Show us your rings. That's fine. I mean, we'll see you guys here in the season. I have given your team flowers this year more than most people, I think New England could be a sleeper good team this year, but to sit here and troll us over and over and over, it's just hilarious to me that you can watch Josh Allen beat you guys, almost twice a year regularly when he plays, and otherwise he takes one snap and leaves because we don't need to beat you. It's fine. We're just that good now that we don't even need it for the 5th straight AFC East title. I mean, it's a third of what you guys had. So,
I think, I was going to say the whole Patriots Bills thing is like, I don't know. I was more confused by like, we were making fun of Diggs a little bit and not even directly making fun of Diggs, just referencing that situation. Yeah. And that seemed to offend Patriots fans. Crazy. I was like, this dude hasn't even been on your team for 6 months. Like why are you upset? And so anyway, I just think that people seeing clips on the internet makes them upset. Like we got people who are just like, stop, sell the podcast equipment. I was like, damn, dude. Like,
this podcast equipment is held together with duct tape, my friend. It's not going to sell. All right. We're keeping it together. The discourse is always funny. It makes the videos pop. And I just, some fans are delusional. Maybe we're delusional. We said on the air, we thought we were going to have 3 1,000 yards.
I think we're the right level of delusional. You have to be a little bit as a Bills fan with all the pain and heartbreak. But anyway, let's jump into our topic for today. Yeah. You go ahead. I'm going to let you have the floor. You found an article and thought it was interesting enough that we could make a quick little episode for you guys about it.
Did.
So give us a
It kind of follows up our last week's episode where we kind of ranked the wide receivers, the targets, the catches, the yards on this Bills team. We know that there is not one alpha dog in this room. They are going to be a team by committee. Everybody eats. Whether you like it or not, doesn't matter. My opinion on it. It matters how it looks on the field. So this article from Pro Football Focus, PFF, it was, let me give some credit here. It was written by Trevor Sikkema on June 4th, PFF, and he ranks the quarterback wide receiver duos in the NFL. And as you know, Khalil Shakir is a good player. He's not Jamar Chase. He is not Terry McLaurin. He is not DK Metcalf. You name the number one guys in this league, and he does not fit that role. But he is good, and he just got paid. And I believe the headline was the Bills' $350 million plus combination scores low on this PFF rankings list. So the Bills were ranked by Sikkema 18th with their quarterback wide receiver duo. Now, I think having the MVP at quarterback gives you at least the floor of 15, right? Like at least 15th, I think, no matter what. But there are good wide receivers in this league that can bump up some bad quarterback plays. So let me read to you what he said about the Bills. And then the trivia here is to guess the teams above the Bills. And I will give you the teams that are below the Bills. So 18, the Buffalo Bills passing offense is more by committee, but Shakir seems to lead the group with their highest threat rate, which is target rate on routes run, and he had the most targets in 2024. Their average target depth is lower at 6.1 yards per target, but efficiency rate 83.6 and no turnover worthy plays. And the skepticism here for Shakir is he only plays in 11 personnel. So it's more about their chemistry and situational stuff compared to saying you go beat this guy one-on-one. So that's what they said about the Bills and Allen and Shakir. Here's below him. 19th, Minnesota, JJ McCarthy and Justin Jefferson. The dude has never played a snap in the NFL, and he gets rated underneath Josh Allen. 1. Anyways, Justin Jefferson's pretty good, I guess. That's fine. 20, Vegas, Geno Smith, Brock Bowers. 21, Caleb Williams and DJ Moore. 22, Seattle with Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba. 23, Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton from Denver. 24, New York Jets, Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson. Interesting. 25, Bryce Young and the rookie McMillan. So that's interesting. Rookie coming up on there. 26, New England, Drake May, Stephon Diggs. I might have put them a little higher. Anyways, 27. Oh, I think this one would be higher too. The Giants, Russell Wilson and Malik Neighbors. Russell Wilson's not terrible and Malik Neighbors is a monster. Tennessee Titans are at 28. Cam Ward, Calvin Ridley. I mean, you put a rookie who's never played above some players. That's interesting. Colts, Anthony Richardson and Josh Downs. Cleveland at 30, Joe Flacco and Jerry Jeudy. 31, the poor Saints, Tyler Shogg and Chris Olave. And 32, which is interesting. I think this is quite an insult to Mason Rudolph because DK Metcalf is a very good player. So that's how bad the Steelers situation is. But there is a report today that Aaron Rodgers will be signing with Pittsburgh come the end of this week. Tomorrow or Saturday.
And I think that they should rightfully adjust their ranking after that signing from 32 to 32 after that.
You got to put Rodgers ahead of the rookies like Tyler Shogg and Joe Flacco.
I don't know if
Cam Ward and Anthony Richardson.
I don't think we have to do anything.
Put him at 28. I'll give him at 28. So, John, your trivia for today is name the teams ahead of the Bills.
All right, I'm going to try to go top down here. Okay. And I'm just going to I tried to pull up a list of starting quarterbacks, but Wikipedia has a bunch of errors here. I don't know what's going on. I got Tyler Huntley on this list for some reason. So anyway, let's go from the top down. I'm going to go Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, somewhere in the top 3.
Number 1, correct.
Okay, let's go Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, top 3.
They have Patrick Mahomes rated number 13, but they have Rashee Rice as the wide receiver. And I think... Okay, that's fair. Rashee Rice is going to have a great season this year. They should end up higher on this list at the end of the season. But he's 13.
Yeah, if he's not suspended or injured, one of the two. So I guess we'll see. TBD. Let's see. How many people were above Josh Allen? That's crazy.
Those are 18th
to me.
So you do the math.
Okay, so Tua and I guess they might even put Jalen Waddle up if Tyreek is getting a little old. Do they still have Tyreek as the wide receiver?
Is their number 1 wide receiver. Tua and Tyreek ranked number 8. Tua's 93.9 PFF passing grade is the highest of any of the quarterbacks in the top 10. But the duo only recorded 694 yards last season.
Yeah, Tyreek was injured for a lot of that also. And Tua also, I don't remember if Tua missed any games or not, but all right, let's see. We got to start naming people here. Let's go Brock Purdy and whoever they pick from that, Brandon Ayuk or George Kittle.
San Francisco, they put George Kittle up there, number 14. Purdy's got a 134.5 passer rating when targeting Kittle, and it's the first among the list of pass catchers quarterbacks. Interesting.
Cool. All right. Let's go Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua.
Yes, they are ranked number 9. Stafford came in at 7th at the quarterback ranking, and Nacua placed 5th in the wide receiver ranking. So let's put them at 9th for the combination. So anyways, math is hard.
Let's go. We got to speed it up here a little bit. Let's go Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St.
They're
Brown.
number 6.
Number 6. Wow, there's a lot of the top ones here that I'm missing out. Let's go by division. The NFC West, we are kind of finishing up those. Do they have Kyler Murray above Josh Allen with their new wide receiver?
They certainly do. And it's Trey McBride, actually. It's not the wide receiver, it's the tight end. And
it's not Marvin Harrison.
No, and they're ranked 17th, so they're one spot ahead of the Bills.
Okay. All right. I think that's everybody in the NFC East. Or I'm sorry, NFC West. AFC West, we got the Chiefs already. Let's do the Chargers, Justin Herbert, and their wide receiver from last year. Give me a second. It's Mick something.
Lad McConkey.
All right.
Yep, they're 11th.
Okay. Let's see. Other AFC West. There's no way they put. I don't know what the Raiders have going on. They got to be below the Bills.
Yeah, Raiders.
Denver.
Denver's below.
I already heard Bo Nix. They're below. What am I missing out of the top 5? I'm missing 4 of the top 5.
You're missing an NFC team, AFC team, NFC team. So you're missing.
All right.
And one more NFC team. So.
All right. Well, let's do.
You just start spitballing teams here, and you're gonna get them.
All right. Eagles
are 2.
Has got to be in that top 4.
Are 2.
Jordan Love. Yep. And one of his receivers got to be somewhere, maybe not in the top 5.
They are 12th. Jordan Love and Jaden Reed. There's one on here I don't think you're gonna get. This is kind of with the purpose of why I was thinking about this. 2nd-year quarterback.
There's no way they put Caleb Williams.
No, he's below the Bills. Yeah.
Okay.
This one might even be worse than that. This guy.
Really?
Yeah. He.
CJ Stroud and
okay, no, they are ranked way up here. They are number 3.
Okay. Well, I mean, what's his name is a really, really good receiver.
Nico.
Yep. Thank you. Let's see. There's nothing going on with the Colts in the AFC South. There's nothing going on with the Titans. NFC South, nothing with the Saints. Baker and Mike Evans.
They are 5th.
Nothing with Carolina.
No, they're bad.
Well, give me Dak and CD.
Yep. They are 7th. You're going to be stuck on this one.
Is it the Commanders?
No, they're good. Commanders are
Jaden Daniels 4th. And Terry McLaurin.
Yep, they're 4th.
Okay, so I'm missing number 3. Is that the only one I'm missing in the top 5?
Nope. Okay, so right now you got the Bengals, Eagles, Texans, Commanders, Bucks, Lions, Cowboys, Dolphins, Rams. You're missing number 10. 11 is the Chargers. 12 is the Packers. 13 is the Chiefs. 14 is the Niners. You're missing 15, 16, and 10.
Okay. All right. We got the top 10 now. All right.
You got the top 9 so far.
I promise I'm going to edit this down. So this is top 9.
Yeah. You're not going to get number 10.
Okay.
It's crazy.
We're going to run out of teams at some point.
He says this is the little spiel he gives. This is the big bet of these rankings. In weeks 16 and 17 and 18, this quarterback recorded an 89.5 passing grade when targeting this wide receiver with 4 big time throws. If they pick up where they left off, this duo could easily be ranked in the top 10 in production and efficiency. The wide receiver's name is a rapper and a location abroad.
Sorry, I'm going to start looking at a picture of all.
You were in the correct
here.
division earlier, and you just missed one of the teams.
Okay, we were okay. There's no way it's Michael Penix coming in.
Yep.
And
Michael Penix and Drake London.
Yep. I don't know.
That's soft.
Above Josh Allen and Khalil Shakir.
And Mahomes and Rice and Jordan Love and Jalen Reed and Justin Herbert and Lad McConkey. And a couple other. There's 2 more now, both AFC teams.
That's some off-season sensationalism if I've ever heard it.
It's a big bet, according to him. I like this article. Right. I'm not ripping on him, but I just think that's a stretch.
All right. The Browns were below the Bills,
way
right?
down there with Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
These 2 teams
just needed that. Okay, Lamar. I forgot about the freaking Ravens.
He's 16th, so they're 2 spots up over Josh Allen.
It seems like they're really weighting the wide receivers more in this comparison.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar had a great season passing still, though, too. And Zay Flowers.
No, I'm saying like Lamar should be Josh, and Fitzpatrick, and it should all be further up there. I mean, I get Joe Burrow's number one, but that's because his wide receiver is one of the best in the league. And also Justin Jefferson is carrying whoever's quarterbacking in Minnesota. Like, is it JJ McCarthy going into this year? Right? Like,
they're 19th. They're one below the Bills.
Okay.
So last team you got here.
I got one more team missing.
Yep. Guy had a rookie wide receiver last year who's on this list. At one point, I wanted him on the Bills.
Not talked about.
They would have had to trade up for him, which would have been doable because this player slid down in the draft a little bit.
The Jags are above the Bills?
Yep, 15th.
With Brian Thomas Jr.?
Correct.
Oh, my God. Okay, well,
you did it.
I did, but that was ridiculous.
It's a little wild. I think Atlanta, take them out. I think, Mahomes and Rishi Rice are going to be good. Brock Purdy and George Kittle are pretty good. Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. I think Josh Allen being that much better than Trevor Lawrence should have put him up there. Kyler Murray and Trey McBride, Josh Allen's better than them.
I'm not so sure that Trevor Lawrence isn't that much better than Mac Jones right now.
Yeah. You hope that there's something there that the new guy can salvage. They're going to be good. They have Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr.
Duval. I guess so cringe. Anyway, let's stop talking about the Jaguars. So, is there anything that we can take from this that isn't just offense? No,
but I don't think it's going to change for the Bills going into next year as we go through last week's list.
If I had to bet, I don't think it would, but there's always this possibility. And, we were kind of, wrong about our optimism last year where we're like, okay, Curtis Samuel could be a guy. Dalton Kincaid's ready for a second year jump after having historic rookie tight end numbers, which, by the way, we've kind of written Kincaid off after a mediocre second year.
Who picked him to be up there in targets last week?
You did. But I mean, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying the franchise as a whole. I'm not like, we need Dalton Kincaid to have a huge season or else it's bad. It's it's more to me. It's like his success is not necessarily crucial to the team. Yep. It would be great, but it's not like you're only going to win 10 games if Dalton Kincaid has a bad year. I think that he doesn't have as much of a bearing on that. He could be a great help, but again, I don't think we're depending on him. We had the offense that we had last year with him having a mediocre season.
Did you see Joe Brady's comments about Dalton Kincaid this year from 2 days ago?
I didn't.
Brandon Beane talked about Dalton Kincaid. He has to continue to work on his play strength, right? We talked about that a little bit. And Joe Brady was asked what he had seen from Kincaid at Tuesday's press conference. And Joe Brady kind of went on to rave about him. And he was like, I feel like he lived here in the offseason. Credit to him in the weight room and working with the medical team. Looks like Dalton Kincaid. That's an interesting short little quote there, but Joe Brady's happy with Dalton Kincaid's workouts in the offseason. I mean, him and Keon Coleman coming in stronger. You can get a 10% bump from either of those two guys. You are looking at...
I think if you get a 10% bump from both of those guys, it's going to be borderline deadly. I mean, again, we're talking about, maybe a top 10 receiver group, ideally, right? But the bottom of the top 10 as far as all wide receiver groups go. So again, and wide receiver rankings obviously don't matter in the standings or anything like that. I get
Justin
it.
Jefferson.
You can score 30 points a game. I don't care if you're handing it off 50 times. It's just make it sustainable and, always do that. So,
which the Bills have gotten good at. No matter what we always say, I sit on here and I rip on these 50-50 run pass game scripts now, but it's what you just said. It's a sustainable way to score 30 points a game until you score 29 in an AFC Championship game, but that's fine.
Right.
So the way that this team is going to be built and how it plays out this season, is there enough room to go around to have these big jumps in their career here? Is Keon going to get enough targets to have a big second year jump? Is Kincaid going to get enough targets to get a big jump here? And I hope the Bills give them an opportunity to really have that career best season. And it's not just, I hope they can adjust if they have this hot hand and they feed it to him. I was just watching the highlights of the Seattle game where Keon's battling with that corner and that corner breaks it off his hands for the touchdown. And then next play, was it back-to-back plays? He goes up, catches the jump ball over his head. Yep. So it's that's cool. I want to see more of that on a long-term season with these guys. Give them a chance to be great. Don't handcuff them because you want everybody to eat. It's cool if we have two dogs eating at the table too.
I don't know. I'm trying to look back at previous situations because not that our optimism isn't well founded on this podcast, But we tend to get optimistic about things and then the season shakes out. And obviously it's never exactly how we think it's going to look, right? Like we always bring up Curtis Samuel as an example, which is an easy one because it's like we had high hopes for him and what he was going to add and adding speed to this offense. We had those conversations all off season. And that was pretty much a nothing burger for most of the season until the end when he contributed a few plays and still didn't necessarily look like a weapon that a defensive coordinator is losing sleep about or anything like that. But when we talk about these guys and their second year jumps and their strength and stuff like that, I'm like, I don't have a situation that I can go back to. I mean, I remember us getting pumped about Devin Singletary's offseason workouts. And when I say us, not us personally, just like people on Twitter.
I didn't like
that's
that.
You didn't like
so
Devin Singletary?
Slow. Yeah.
I mean, as a running back, yeah, sure. He's a likable guy. Really
nothing
guy.
personal, buddy. Like nothing personal, Devin. But go ahead.
Anyway, I don't know if there's a way I can talk myself out of the optimism for this upcoming season because it's like, you're right. All these guys can't take a jump and all these guys are not going to have career numbers because of the number of targets. But you hope that there's maybe one guy in this receiving room. And when I say receivers, it's just all pass catchers. I just want to hope that there's one guy that can go off per game. And you're not going to see a bunch of box scores where the leading wide receiver has 60 yards. Right. And again, box scores don't matter. If you get the yards, It's great. But it'd be nice to be like, oh, Keon Coleman has a 100-yard game because he had 3 receptions over 25 yards. Okay, now it's Khalil Shakir's game because he had 7 receptions this game because that's what the game plan called for. Or Kincaid, the tight end, he matched up really well against a weak outside linebacker for this game. And so he goes for 100 yards. And it's like we didn't really see any kind of career-defining performances.
James Cook
in the back half of the season from Keon.
Oh, you're talking about
we got him from Cook. I think we got plenty from Cook last year, and that's a whole another conversation about whether they're going to pay him or not. And that's kind of a hot topic right now, whether he's going to show up or not. And we can talk about that next week.
Well, no, because I think minicamp starts next week, right?
Yeah, so we're going to know if he's holding out. I don't think he will.
Holding in.
My personal right. My personal opinion, I don't think he will because he has a contract. He's going to play this year. And I think that's what the Bills think too. It's like they don't really have any incentive to do it unless it's a team-friendly deal right now. You let him play the last year of his contract, you're not at risk as a team. You're not going to be screwed if he walks, right? That's just the way the position matters. But anyway, getting back to these receivers and stuff like that, I can't help but be optimistic about it because of the steps that we want to see from the young guys and the guys that we brought in bringing a different skill set of separation downfield, which is the biggest thing that they struggled with was guys couldn't get open. Teams just ran single high safety and clamped down on wide receivers because they couldn't beat man coverage.
Right.
So if you start beating man coverage again, you might see the 2 high shell, which again is going to, are we going to see the same 50-50 run pass offense, but for different reasons this year? Because you saw that single high safety and the Bills decided to run against it still also, even though you had a bunch of guys in the box and down towards the line of scrimmage that usually Josh Allen is responsible for moving backwards on the field schematically. So
that's a good point.
I don't know. I think it's going to be really interesting.
It is interesting. And even when we had 2 shell safeties on us, we threw into it. Which was, maybe that was with Diggs and you need to satisfy him and keep this offense moving, or whether it was Ken Dorsey or Brian Dable still doing it. And now you're running into the single high safety. It's just the same thing as throwing into the double high safety, right? And they still are successful. So if they could get that layer figured out, it's an unstoppable combination. If you can see the other team's best situation against the play that you have and still beat it. It's like your best player against my best player wins still. That's cool. And it's the coaching battle. Joe Brady's going to have a big year here, I think, on his plate. And maybe this is his last year here. So we should start thinking about that. If he has this orchestrated, awesome offense and to see how he matches up against the defenses that he's given week to week, that'll be a good storyline to watch. And if the Bills struggle, what do they do? Do they revert to throwing the ball 20 times in a row? Do they revert to running the ball for second, third down? How is it going to look when they face adversity? Our team's going to be able to lock up the wide receivers. Now, friend of the show, Tyler, I worked with him at the YMCA. Shout out, longtime listener. He was like, you didn't even mention Shenault in your wide receivers list and in your conversations about the targets. And that's another guy that had a few hundred yards last year that maybe he takes 5 targets from Mac Hollins. Maybe he fills that role a little bit. But he was on WGR and he was talking about just being comfortable and how much he was happy to play here. I think there's a position coach that he had played for previously that is on the Bills. So he was super excited to find a place that he could call home. And I didn't even, he's a total afterthought for me, but he's going to see the field time to time. And maybe, again, he's got the contract. So if he's a special teamer and he makes some plays like Matt Collin does, maybe they reward him a little bit here and there. But it's just another piece. The depth is very deep, even if it's not, the number one guy. It's just I'm not as worried about injuries this year as I was in the past years, except to our Joshua Patrick Allen. So keep him in bubble wrap. But man's got married now. He's unstoppable. He's Superman. The kids in my class today, we were talking. They're like, did you hear Josh got married? And I'm like, yeah, he married an actress named Haley. And they're like, Josh and Haley. I'm like, yeah, Josh and Haley. It's a beautiful.
That's
thing.
funny. King and Queen of Buffalo. But so, I just, you're spitting the optimism like I am. It's like, it's hard to not be optimistic about it. And maybe we should turn some of this over to the defense in the next couple coming weeks, because that's the unit that's being reshaped more so. Like, it's easier to talk about the offensive pieces and Josh Palmer and
Elijah Moore. I'm anxious when I talk about the defense.
It's exciting.
It makes me anxious.
I know. My prediction for the defense, and we'll wrap it up here because we went longer than we said we were going to, and that always happens. But my prediction is defense might start a little bit shaky this year. And I think, but that's fine because the offense would carry them. All I care about is the defense clicks when playoffs come around. And if you're going to have a bunch of young guys on this squad, a bunch of first and second year players playing significant roles on defense, which I think we're going to see with Maxwell Hairston and, at least Cole Bishop on the back end, most likely. That experience for the first part of the season is going to be so critical. But again, as long as it clicks come playoff time, it's like, it's almost none of this stuff is even worth talking about until it comes to the playoffs, because it's like all these seasons have been defined by the playoff losses and not the success of the regular season.
It's like the week of the Kansas City game. We don't even need to record anything. It's just like, I'm done here. I can't do it again if this defense blows it. McDermott blows it. I don't know. I get mad at him. I get mad at the players. I don't know which one I should get more mad at. I don't know if I should just be mad at Andy Reid because Mahomes is throwing the ball in a second and a half anyway, so he can't get any pass rush. And all these.
You should be mad at yourself for emotionally committing to so much of it. It's so funny. Every year we go into it, we're like, I'm not going to get too emotionally invested. And then by the end of the season, it's like
sitting on my
this is everything in my entire life right here.
Sitting on my mom's couch, just like, don't cry, Brandon.
Right. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to wrap it up here. You guys know where to find us on all platforms at Not Buff Podcast. Choose question, comment, any of that stuff. We love it. As always, thanks for listening. Deep summer. So, we're trying to keep the episodes interesting. We'll keep trying to do so throughout the summer for you guys. We'll have a couple of weeks off here in the next couple of weeks, but we will be back next week, I believe, for one more before I'm going to be off for a little bit. So again, thanks for listening, everybody. And as always, do good, be God.
Do good, be good. God bless, go Bills.
Yeah, that's why he says it, not me. Be God. That's not it.